Good morning, Sports Booth Nation, and welcome into another episode of Wild Wednesday. My name is Ethan Dobbeck, and we've got a fantastic episode for you today. On Wild Wednesday, we're going to give you our NFC and AFC offensive and defensive players of the week, as well as also giving you my lock starts of the week at each position, basically giving you one name that will definitely put up start-worthy numbers this week. After that, we'll break down 4 more games for this weekend. And yeah, just remember to check out our website at www.thesportbooth.com. That's right, thesportbooth.com with no S at the end of sport, where you can purchase all of our sick merch, including the coziest sweaters ever. I wore mine at the Beaver game this past weekend, and I was warm all game long, and it was a night game. So that speaks to those. But also don't forget to purchase our picks on the website. One purchase of picks automatically enters you to win 4 tickets to the game of your choice in the 2022 regular season for either the NFL or NCAA. So there's not a whole lot of purchases out there, guys. Go and do it, and you guys could easily win 4 tickets. And you guys can also win money with our bets. We're 4 for 6 in both the NFL and the NCAA the past 2 weeks. So we're really hitting a stride well. So make sure you guys check that out. And make sure you guys subscribe to all of our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all that good jazz. But let's stop messing around and take it to the booth. With our players of the week in the AFC for offense. Both Cade and I had Ja'Marr Chase. He had 8 receptions on 10 targets for 201 yards. Good gravy. And 1 touchdown. Just absolutely went off and torched that Baltimore secondary. For the defense, I actually said on the opposite side of the ball, Baltimore's DB, Marlon Humphrey, who had 7 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. Cade said the entire Titans defense, only allowing 3 points against the high-scoring Kansas City Chiefs. In the NFC, both Cade and I had Cooper Kupp for offense, who had 10 receptions on 13 targets for 156 yards and 2 scores. For defense, we also both had the same opinion in Devondre Campbell, who had 13 tackles and 2 forced fumbles. Alrighty, now I'm just going to give you one player at the quarterback position, running back position, wide receiver, and tight end position that will have a top 12 finish this upcoming week. I want to remind you real quick that here at the Sports Booth, we run everything off a PPR format. It is just a better way to play. It grows the game, and the players that aren't big named can still get noticed in this format. So starting it off, we've got quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to absolutely light up the Seattle defense. I think they will put up close to 300 yards passing and probably 150 rushing. Do they win? I don't know. That Seattle secondary or Seattle red zone defense is pretty good. They've held tough the past 2 weeks against both Pittsburgh and New Orleans. So I don't know if they'll score a whole lot and win, but I do see a lot of in between the 20s big yard gains, especially on passing the ball. For the running back position, I've got in Jacksonville as well, James Robinson. Seattle's defense is just bad. He will light it up in both the receiving and rushing game against a weak Seattle defense. For the wide receiver position, I've got Adam Thielen. With Jefferson being tightly covered by Quandre Diggs, this will leave a lot of opportunity against an overall still very mediocre Cowboys defense. And lastly, at the tight end position, I've got TJ Hawkinson. He's going to get back on track as a top 3 tight end and have another 15-plus point weekend against a poor Eagles defense. Alrighty, now we're going to break down 4 games for you guys. We're going to break down the 49ers and Bears, the Pittsburgh Steelers and Cleveland Browns, the Philadelphia Eagles and Detroit Lions, and Tennessee at Indianapolis. So let's start off with 49ers at the Bears. 49ers are currently 18th in overall offense, 6th in overall defense. The Bears are 32nd in overall offense and 11th in overall defense. I think the 49ers will come out with a win here. Justin Fields just doesn't have that magic yet. I think he's a good quarterback and will get there, but he's not there yet. I also really like Deebo Samuel in this matchup, even though the Bears defense is pretty good. Deebo Samuel's just filthy, but I really don't like a whole lot of other options. Maybe Khalil Herbert for the Bears, but I would still keep Robinson on the bench. If you need to, Elijah Mitchell is not a bad option. But let's move on to Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Pittsburgh has the 27th ranked offense, 13th ranked defense, while Cleveland has the 10th ranked offense and 2nd ranked defense. Cleveland is getting Nick Chubb back. Pittsburgh is coming off a bye. I think Cleveland's going to take this one. I think it'll be a close game, especially with the lack of offensive weapons they have with Baker being injured. But I just think they're a better team than Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh's that good this year. So I've got that. I really like Nick Chubb as always. I still think D'Ernest Johnson is a good option as an RB2 for that team, potentially putting him in the flex. As always, I like Najee Harris as well as Deontay Johnson. Sorry, I'm spacing on their names there. But yeah, that wraps up Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Moving on to Philadelphia at Detroit. Philadelphia has the 21st ranked offense with the 17th ranked defense. Detroit has the 24th offense with the 25th defense. I think DeAndre Swift will have a great game today, or this game. I also think TJ Hawkinson will get back on track. I think Devontae Smith will also be able to get back on track, have another plus 15-point game, and Jalen Hurts is a lock start every week. Even if they play bad, he somehow puts up fantasy points. But overall, I think Philadelphia is going to take that one. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Alrighty, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Tennessee has the 11th ranked offense, 22nd ranked defense. Indianapolis has the 14th ranked offense with the 15th ranked defense. I think Derrick Henry obviously is locked and loaded. A.J. Brown, locked and loaded. Julio Jones, if you need to, I would play him. I wouldn't highly recommend it, though, if you have other options to pivot away from him. He's not getting that target share, especially with A.J. Brown being healthy and catching the balls again, and Derrick Henry just being an absolute beast. He's just not going to see the target volume that he did when he was in his prime in Atlanta. I think he could have a good game. I wouldn't expect a whole lot more than maybe 12 points from him if he doesn't get a score, but he could have a good game. On the Indianapolis side, I always like Michael Pittman against that bad Tennessee secondary. I also really like Jonathan Taylor and Carson Wentz in this matchup. Alrighty, guys. Well, that wraps up this episode of Wild Wednesday. And hold on, I don't know what's happening. Well, that wraps up this episode of Wild Wednesday for us. Make sure to check out our website at www.thesportbooth.com. That's right, sportbooth.com with no S at the end of sport. Don't forget to purchase our sick gear, good for any team, any weather, anytime, as well as purchasing our picks for your chance to win 4 tickets to the game of your choice in 2022. Tune in tomorrow for our Thursday Throwdown, where we give you our picks of the week, our free picks of the week, as well as breaking down 4 more games for you guys. And I think that about does it. After review, the booth says it's good. Have a good one, guys.